One of the questions I get asked the most by clients is, why do I have this need to constantly explain myself? It feels like it's compulsive. I'm always over-explaining. How do I stop this? I'm Karen Katz, certified professional life coach and speaker for Fortune 500 companies. And today we're talking about why, as empaths, we feel this compulsive need to constantly over-explain ourselves, knowing that what we're doing is not helping the situation at all. There are several reasons for this. In this video, we're going to discuss the top 3. So let's get right into it. Reason number 1, you have a big heart. It's who you are. It's just your nature. You care about people, and that's never going to change. The last thing you want to do is hurt somebody else's feelings. We know the pain all too well. We know what it feels like to be hurt. And that's the last thing we want to do. So we will sacrifice our energy, our health, and our well-being in order to ensure that we clarify all the possible misunderstandings. Overthinking, overanalyzing to the point, what if he thinks this? What if he understands this from my text? What if she misinterprets this? I better take the time to explain it. And so we're writing these texts that are pages long, or we are having conversations that are, by the time we notice, we're 2 hours or 2 hours and a half or 3 hours into a conversation, completely drained. Things are not better. They actually got worse. And now we're seeing, why do I do this? Why do I keep doing this, right? Caring for others, overgiving is the name of the game for empaths. The second reason is we were held responsible for things that were our fault and things that were not our fault. We were led to believe that everything was our fault. We are walking around with this sensation that it's my fault, I'm to blame. Whether it be a parent getting angry, we made them angry. A partner losing control, you made me do this. Typical of a narcissist. A friend getting mad, being disappointed, getting upset. It is our fault. Everything became our fault. And what happens when there's fault, when there is blame? There is punishment associated with it. So the terrifying fear of being punished is one of the top reasons we over-explain ourselves. Somebody that's misunderstood and there's the possibility of a punishment is going to naturally over-explain themselves. We're going to look for ways to avoid that possible pain. Let me make sure you understand it's not my fault. I didn't do it. This is not what I meant to do. Because we were led to believe that we were at fault, that we are bad, that we are broken, that we are always doing things, that we were responsible for somebody else's actions, when in reality, we were not. The third reason is trying to avoid the ultimate pain for empaths, rejection. If they don't understand what I did, if they think I did this on purpose, if they think I wanted to hurt them, if they misinterpret my actions, what will happen? They will leave me. Fear of abandonment is at the core. They will leave me. The pain, the shame, the humiliation, all unbearable for us as empaths. We will do whatever we can to try to avoid that. Bottom line, the reason we over-explain ourselves is a trauma response. As I've explained in the channel, trauma doesn't necessarily have to be a big thing associated with that we associate with the word, although in most cases it is. But in a lot of cases, trauma are traumatic experiences. Things that happened when we were younger and they were an overload to our sensitive, not weak nervous system. We didn't have anyone there to help us process that. We were told we were too sensitive or too much or just get over it, and we didn't know how to process that except to believe that there's something wrong with us, which is the farthest away from the truth. The trauma tied us up to this whole dynamic of overgiving, over-explaining, people-pleasing, codependence. Here's the question. Does over-explaining make things better, or does it create more of a mess? There's this dynamic that we have been set up for where we're over-giving, over-explaining. And what's happening when we're going too much on top of the other person? They're backing away. When we learn to self-contain, when we learn when to explain, when not to explain, when we learn how to explain, then people actually respect us. They flock to us. They want to be around that energy. That energy is magnetic. It's confident energy. It's not needy, fearful energy. It's a complete shift. To stop over-explaining, you need to understand the whole dynamic from which you are operating from. I explain it in detail in the free training that is linked below. For now, all I need you to know is that it's not your fault. This is the dynamic you were set up in due to the trauma and traumatic experiences. There is nothing wrong with you, and you are not broken, my love. I will talk to you soon. Namaste.